Hello, welcome everybody to Friday's stream of Office Hours, and I'm going to call this one Wrapping Up because that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm planning this to be the last stream for the Conduit project, and I might take a Twitch break after that for a while because the Conduit project is almost done. My implementation is anyway. Of course, there's the big step of actually getting it listed, but we'll get there. That might take some time to get approval and such. But today, here's today's agenda. First of all, C# Advent. So as of now, as of a couple of days ago, in fact, all the spots in C# Advent are taken. So all 50 spots are now spoken for. So we will now have officially 50 pieces of C# content to be unwrapped every day. In December 1st to December 25th. Thank you very much for highlighting that. Yes, csadvent.christmas. Go check it out. It's a real URL. If you want to, there's still a chance to sign up to be like on standby for a substitute in case people have to drop out. And people have to drop out every year. It's just the way it works. 50 different people. Yes, I know it's you, Shirley Dev. Shirley Dev, by the way, since this is my last stream, probably for a while, I want to say thank you very much for your tremendous help, not only on the stream, but with email issues I had this week. It was very helpful. Thank you very much, Shirley Dev, and you're the best mod a guy could hope for. So thank you for sticking with me. No, not at all. Don't mention it. Yeah, that's one you definitely should clip. Absolutely. Okay, I got an update on this bug here. On Couchbase, it's TXNN134. Oh, you will mention it. That's fine. Do it, please, please. So this is a bug that I ran into when I was building a transaction, and I had to roll, and the logic dictated it roll back out of that transaction early if some condition wasn't met, and that was causing a bug. That was causing an exception. And so that has been officially been, well, it says here, now I'm confused because it says resolved here, but it says unresolved right here. So I just got a notification in email that it was resolved. I don't think it's officially been added to a release yet, but the code is fixed, so it's in source control. If I wanted to go and pull that, then I could get that fix going. So that's good. That means the next release, well, maybe not the next, but a future release of Couchbase Transactions will have this issue fixed. So that's some of the value of dog fooding, just trying out your own stuff. And while I'm not on the engineering team, I am certainly a Couchbase employee. So finding this kind of stuff means that you're using it, and you're using it more than a shallow level. So I'm glad I got that bug entered. I'm glad it's got fixed, and now we can move on. There's one more bug still hanging around. Don't know what's going to happen with that yet. But next up, UI. So on the last stream, Tuesday's stream, I started to work on the UI. Was really struggling with Blazor as a front end, and there might be a reason why I was struggling. I brought in several other UIs and ran into issues with those as well. And I eventually discovered, and maybe this is just something that Blazor struggles with as well, or maybe I just wasn't in the right mind to see it. But there were some things that were wrong with my back end. So one of them was articles count, and I was completely oblivious to this. This was causing an error in Blazor. I might try Blazor again, the Blazor front end for real world. It was looking for articles count, and there was no articles count, but there should have been. This is something I just did not even notice. But if you look at feed article, let's see, list articles, multiple articles. It's a array of articles, but down here at the bottom, I just kind of glanced over it, didn't even notice articles count. I'm supposed to return articles count. Now, articles count is actually not just a count of all the articles being returned here. No, articles count is actually the total number of articles in the system for the purposes of paging, obviously. So I went back and added that, and I'll show you how by bringing up this guy here. So this is the query. This is the articles/feed query, list articles/feed articles query. But basically the same thing with one minor difference between the two. But one thing I added was this little feature right here. This is called pagination with total count, something like that. This is using a window function in SQL++ to say, give me the count of everything over, and leaving the criteria blank there. So this ignores the limit and offset down here. And gets total count of the article. The benefit of this is I don't have to make a second query to get that count. It's returned with this query. Now, it is a little wonky because it returns this articles count with every single article. But there's a workaround for that. But basically, what this is telling me is here's 20 articles. There's a total of 181. So then you can create your paging and your pagination UI with that number. Yeah, so there we go. That was that. Really easy to add that part to one SQL++ query. So just another example of SQL++ for Couchbase being a full SQL implementation. It's not looks like SQL. It is a full implementation. It has cool features like windowing functions, which I can use to get total count with pagination. I've got limit and offset. I've got joins. I've got this let syntax in here. It's pretty cool. Also, we've got the ++ part. We've got embedded objects, and the other query showed arrays in action. Coalesce function. That's not quite as exciting. Split function. But lots of great stuff in SQL++. So if you're thinking about NoSQL, but you don't want to give up SQL, like SQL++ is the kind of the way to get your foot in the door in the NoSQL world, I think anyway. All right, so with that in mind, this leads me to the part I'm not quite as proud of. If we go to Articles Controller, now we'll go to Articles Data Service. So down here in the Get Articles method, Notice I changed this to return articles view model. Person's article view was a list of article view models. But notice this now has the list and the articles count in it. All right, so that seems to make sense, right? I'm just kind of wrapping the list in something so I can add the articles count. Well, the question then is, how do I actually, this is all building the SQL and adding the count right here. How do I actually get that and put it into the results? And this is the hacky part right here. I think it's hacky. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is totally fine. I don't know. But what I did was I created a article view model with count class. And all that is the same thing as article view model, this thing right here, with just articles count added. I only need to get it once though, which is the annoying thing. But so anyway, give me all the results. So that's article view model with count. So each of those has the same count in them. And then create the new view model. Get the very first one, if there is one, and get the count from it and put that in articles count. And if there's nothing there, then it's just 0. Right? And the last part, this is probably the most hacky part, is cast all those results to article view model, because I don't really want this articles count being returned for each article up to the services in the UI. So in C# you can do that a couple different ways. One easy way is to just do results.cast, specify the type you want. As long as that cast does work, then it will return that, and then return that as IEnumerable, I believe, yes, and then toList of that. So that just takes these objects and lops off this articles count to return the normal articles view model. So it seems a little hacky. I'm open, definitely, to better ways to go about this, better ways that don't involve having to rewrite this query or write 2 queries, right? Another option is I could just write a second query to get the count. And that would be a less hacky way to do it, but also less performant, because now I got 2 queries to run to get that same value. So that's what I'm going with for now. So that's working. That's great. I had to change some tests and things because I'm recurring a new class, but otherwise it works. I can show you that in a second here. The next thing was wrong routes, and this I'm not ashamed of either, or I am ashamed of, I should say. This was absolutely my bad on this one. So I went through, and again, this is maybe something I just couldn't notice in the Blazor project, or I was oblivious to. I was thinking that the colons were causing a problem in the URL, but no, that was totally a wild goose chase. The problem was, notice this is API article slug. I had API article slug. And again, if I wasn't paying attention, the endpoint for get articles with an S. So I actually took this chance to go back and see if there's any other, we got an ad break starting in 3 minutes. I took this chance to go back and verify all the URLs, and there were a couple that I had gotten wrong. So actually the most egregious one was this one here. The unfavorite I actually had as favorite. This is just terrible. So fix that, and I think I fixed the articles singular to plural in one other place. So that's taken care of, and that really helped a lot as well, getting the UI working. So that's as far as I've gotten, and let me just show you this nice UI. So I brought in an Angular front end. So here it is, and this is running on my local machine. You can see just running with ng-serve and using my implementation as the back end right here. And there we have it. So I can click on, let's say, cruising, and get the cruising articles, baseball articles. There's nothing with NoSQL. I've got Couchbase, nothing with .NET. The tags are working. Global feed is working. I believe, let's see if I can sign in here. I created an account, so I can sign in, and that's Matt2, example.net, and sign in. And so now I've got my feed, which I've not followed anybody yet, and there's the global feed. But notice I've got, well, that's not great. Here's the settings. One other thing I've done, just kind of a nice presentation thing, is I've used picsum. So if you look here, back at these images here for each user, I've created a picsum URL. If you're not familiar with picsum, basically it's a site that allows you to create placeholder photos of any resolution, any size. And one of the cool things you can do with it is kind of give it a seed. So in this case up here, you can see the seed is M grows, but I could create one that's surly dev. And every time I use that URL, it'll give me the same picture. So this is surly dev's profile picture. And you can also, you don't need the JPEG on there, but since my validation requires JPG at the end, you can just add one. And you can change the resolution, so let's maybe make it 100 instead of 1000. So that's what I've done. That's why there's pictures showing up here when you're seeing these next to the user. And that's where you can enter the image URL, and the ad break's about to start. We'll see you on the other side of that. Here's the username, which this form makes it look like you can change. Here's the bio, email, and then if you want to create a new password. So that seems to work. It's a little bit, I don't know, a little bit junky, because if you put in, I know there's some errors going on here, so I don't know. But if you put in something like, let's say I didn't put in a correct URL, it fails, which it should, right? But it doesn't show an error message. You have to actually go into the network here to see, oh, here's the error message. Image must be JPEG or PNG, right? So I have to go back here and I can just change this like so. I'm still getting errors. So there might be something going on there. Again, might be probably a back-end issue that's causing those errors to happen. So I'm going to investigate that today. The other thing is, if you go look at a profile, well, the ad break will be over shortly. Well, that's good, about a minute. The profile is kind of broken too. The user image is broken. That should be something there, I think. These don't seem to work, and there's not a, as far as I can tell, there's not a follow button showing up. So I'm going to investigate those today and see what's going on with that. And so I'm going to investigate login, which I've already done, profile, and follow. I'm interested in seeing if something's broken there. And I think that's it. Really, I'm just wrapping things up. Anything else is just kind of nice polish to it. And I'm thinking if we have time today, let's put it onto a live website, which is going to be a new adventure for me, figuring out how to deploy a front end along with the back end. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully not too difficult. And maybe if we had time, I can experiment with the Blazor one that I kind of brushed aside because my back end was messed up in the first place. So we'll see how that goes. But all right, here we are. Let's bring up the debug console here. Okay, I think the ad break's over, so welcome back. So you're seeing there's some kind of errors going on here, and the network is not having errors, so that's fine, but cannot read properties of undefined, reading image, so image is undefined, username is undefined, which doesn't make sense to me. So if we look at this, like it's getting the user, well that's odd. That's a get for this API slash is an option. That's probably a CORS thing, I'm guessing. So this is returning the user correctly, as far as I know. Let's just double check, and I'll look at not ChatGPT, but I'll look at the endpoint here, and look at get user or get profile probably. Well, it looks like this is get user. Maybe it's get current user. That would make more sense, I think. Bring this guy up here. Move you over here and put you on the left side. Okay, so this is Yeah, this is get current user, I'm pretty sure. Well, no, that's update user. Get current user is get/API user. Yep. Returns a user, email, token, username, bio, image. That all looks correct. So then, what is the problem with this front end? If we refresh this, and by the way, if we go back to the feed and click on a different user, it's the same thing, right? But that's going to be a different, yeah, it's going to be this kind of endpoint here, where I am API, it's going to be profiles endpoint. API profiles, username, but it's the same errors. Cannot read properties of undefined. So maybe I dip into TypeScript, as much as I'm not really a fan of TypeScript, and see what's the dealio. So this is Angular real world example app. Okay, and what I'm looking at is we're looking at core MJS. I don't know what core MJS is. Article meta components. So it's this right here. Oh, I should probably mention this, but all I had to do to get this up and running was change this API URL to the backend locally. So, okay, so this is, I don't know what all this stuff means, but it's associated with article meta components.html, I guess. Article author username. So this appears to not be finding the author, right? It's right here. It's just broken user image. If I look at the HTML, pretty sure. So like div class info, somewhere in here. Okay, maybe not. Article meta. Wait, this is article. Why am I looking at article? Article meta. Why are we looking at article when we're in a profile? What in the world? Is it because it's supposed to show the articles that I've posted? Is that what's going on? Okay. I want to figure out. Okay, source app profile. Source app profile. Okay. I don't know what that is. Source app profile. Module TS. I mean, you think profile would be the place I'd be looking at here. So here's the profile. So can I user data? Can I do a console.log of user data? Oh, does that automatically recompile or something? Yes, it does. Okay. Anything in the console? Yeah, that's the correct data as far as I can tell. Being output there. So what is this source app profile module TS? Source app profile. Two profiles. Nope, that's not where I want to look. Source app profile. There's no file of that name. So what are we doing here? TypeScript. This is kind of, maybe I'm just not good at TypeScript. But this is one of the reasons I don't really like TypeScript, because it compiles to JavaScript, and who knows what kind of magic that means, so I can't really reason about it in the same way that I can JavaScript. Or it could be an Angular thing too. Do I read the comments? Yes, and you groan when the function says that getX has a comment that this says this function gets X. Hey, napalm codes. Yeah, I agree. So I was thinking more about like YouTube comments, for instance, or blog comments. But actually, I meant to change the title of my stream because well, today is the wrap up. That's what it should have said. I just totally forgot to change that. Can I change that in process? Let's try it real quick here, because that's what I want the YouTube export to be called. Okay, video creator dashboard. Here we go. Can I change that while I'm live? Stream manager. Yeah, I think I can. So there we go. Just change the title. Thanks for pointing that out. Editors of your stream scan also do that. Editors of your stream scan. I fixed typos on one streamer's title. Editors of your stream can also do that. Okay. Is a moderator the same thing as an editor or no? So don't think I have any editors assigned. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've done any of that yet. But maybe I should do that in the future. Napalm, I could really use some help. If you're a TypeScript expert, tell me what the heck is going on here with these errors. Profile component template. Expert, sure. What's up? Yeah, I'm getting errors. I don't know what these mean. Cannot read properties of undefined. So that's 8.16, I guess. Seems like something around here. If that's line 8, character 16. Profile component template, which I assume is what this is. Profile component.html. Cannot read properties aren't defined on the object. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Thank you. Thank you very much for that help. Very, very insightful. So it's trying to get image. I'm guessing it's profile image, but it's not getting that. You can go ahead and highlight that one, Surly Dev. That's pretty good. The definition of expert. A has been and a drip under pressure. You can feature it. Well, pinned it, sure, but you can also feature chat. It is using Angular, Napalm. I haven't built, this is not code that I've built, FYI. This is a front end I'm using to hook up to my back end. And I'm just trying to figure out, it's probably, there we go, over there. It's probably something with my back end, but I just need to figure out what it is before I can proceed. So this is the template. It's trying to get image from that, and it's undefined. Why is it undefined? I don't know. I don't know where this profile even comes from. API call to get those values somewhere, maybe? Yes, that is true. So this is the back end of it here. But as I did this earlier, actually, console.log, wait, this profile equals data.profile. What's data.profile? But if I do this and then refresh, as soon as this is done here, yep, then it prints out the console. This is the correct backend. Yep, so that's good. It's the only debugging technique I know. But it looks like this .profile is what's actually being used by the template here. And I don't know what data is. This .route.data. I don't know where that comes from. We'll just write that out. Console.log data.profile. See what happens there. So undefined. So that jives with what's going on with the error message. Nothing's defined there. Why isn't anything defined there? I don't know. Purely a swag, because it's been a hot minute since I did Angular. This issue there, this. Oh, you think it's a this issue? It seems like the data profile is undefined. That seems to be the crux of the issue. It's not a this problem. It's what's this data.profile. So I've got this route.data.pipe. No idea what that means either. Is there some sort of, what did you log? Where is the response object? Right here, as I logged right here. I logged there, and I also logged here. This gave me undefined. I did a console.log here. And that gave me the user data. Where is the response object? I don't know what the response object is. So this .route.data.pipe. I don't know what pipe means. Set this.profile equals data.profile inside that block at line 30-ish. Okay. Equals data.profile, like so. Okay, so looks like the same thing. Same problem. But data.profile is still, data profile is undefined. So if I set it to user data, that might do something, but I don't think that's the correct behavior. Oh, this is that TypeScript stuff. It's not matching with types. Following is missing in type user, but is required in type profile. Yeah. So I don't know what the heck is going on. This profile comes from up here. I don't know. There's a profile. Well, so that may be the case, Napalm, but I don't think I should be making changes to this code unless I confirm that it's obviously a UI bug. I suspect it's more of a back-end issue. I'm not returning something correctly or something's named wrong. So there's this profile here. That seems to be feeding into... No, it's fine, Napalm. Absolutely. Any input's welcome. And I understand it's hard to debug issues when you're just sort of writing comments in Twitch. I do not expect you to solve my problems, but just always expecting, not always expecting, but always appreciating input. So there's this profile thing here. There's some sort of model. Okay. Oh, okay. So that's just a DTO basically. User service. Teamwork makes the dream work. Another ad break already? Starting in 3 minutes. So what's user service? User services. Here we go. User service. Good morning, Surly Dev. Okay. Let's see. Update the user on the server. So this is this is what wraps the API, I'm guessing. Set auth, populate. What's this? Subscribe is crossed out as deprecated. Deprecated. So it should still work. Having some exciting career news forthcoming. Oh, exciting career news, Napalm. Do tell if you're allowed to. Excuse me, if you're allowed to. What the heck is this? 3 dots? What kind of syntax is that? So this is going to get the user. Waiting some formalities to finish before going public. Okay, well, I hope if everything is great at your new opportunity. your new career, your new job, whatever. So this is deprecated, but it should still work. It's not obsolete. I have no idea how to even start addressing that. But so populate is getting a user, I guess. Purge auth, next auth, users, routes. This is attempt authorization, yada, yada, yada. I'm not seeing anything that actually gets, like, the profile, which the endpoint for the profile is get API profiles. So what if I just do a search for that? Is a profile service. Is this using the profile service? I don't see a profile service. Are you seeing profile service in here? There's a profile object. No profile service. You're quitting tech and going into farming. Napalm code, let me tell you. After standing at a booth at a conference for 3 days, answering the same questions for the 200th time, I'm absolutely in the same mindset. Quit this tech thing, let's go into farming. Let's go join an Amish community. But I get over that in maybe a day or so, once the conference is over. It's just usually towards the end, where it's like the 100th time someone's asking me, how's Couchbase different than MongoDB? After answering that the 100th time, it's like, okay, time to go do some farming. Time to touch grass, right? Is that what the kids say? No real portable skills beyond tech. You know, that's just because you haven't tried it. I've owning a house, I've gained all kinds of skills and knowledge that I really don't, really didn't think I ever would. So how is Couchbase different than Mongo? Surely I'm glad you've asked. Oh gosh, well I already showed you one of the big differences. One of my favorite things is SQL++, being able to write full-blown SQL queries against JSON data in Couchbase. The nice thing about Couchbase, compared to Mongo, is the way it scales horizontally. With Mongo, you have to configure sharding keys, and it uses the primary-secondary architecture. Whereas Couchbase, every node is both primary and secondary. Stores a portion of the data and stores a portion of replicated data. And sharding is done automatically. So if you say Couch, I'm going to correct you. It's not Couch, it's Couchbase. How is Couch better than Mongo? Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. With Couchbase, you don't need to specify a sharding key. Notice in all this code I've written in these weeks, I've never once mentioned a sharding key because Couchbase handles all that for me. Candygram for Mongo. That's a reference. That's a reference the kids out there appreciate. Are they even allowed to watch that movie? Anybody allowed to watch that movie these days? Love Blazing Saddles. Love it. So that's two things about it. Couchbase, SQL++, and automatic sharding. Those are great developer features, I think. There's lots of other great reasons. A built-in text search engine. Mobile sync is a big one if you're a mobile dev. Automatic mobile sync. And conflict resolution, automatic conflict resolution, and offline first. So you can write to your database on your mobile device, even if you're offline. Even if you're in a the third floor basement of a parking garage, you can still write to the local database. And once you get outside in range of a cell tower, it'll automatically sync back up. You don't have to write that yourself. It's all built into Couchbase. So that's a great reason people like Couchbase, is for Couchbase Mobile. Oh my gosh, Napalm codes. I'm about to flip this table. I just said don't say couch. Don't say CouchDB. It's Couchbase. CouchDB is not the same thing. It is not the same API. It's not the same code base. Nothing like that. It's just a similar name. And there's some historical things. Killing me. No, you're killing me. That's another one I have to answer 300 times at the booth. Cool Elasticsearch features, like does some intelligent full-text searching. Yes, it has a built-in full-text search engine. It's not Lucene. It's something called Bellevy. This is built on Golang. Calling it Matt database from now on. Actually, there's so many Matts here at Couchbase. The CEO is named Matt. One of the longtime employees, like employee number 2 or something, is named Matt. I'm named Matt. There's I think at least 3 or 4 other Matts at the company at any given time. So that might be a better name, in fact. No, I'm sorry. It's a very common thing for people to say CouchDB when it's not. It's Couchbase. But there you go. For the trademark, I don't know if it's probably too late to make that change. I mean, we're already a publicly traded company. I think changing it to Matt database would probably confuse the stockholders and the board a little bit. But if you buy enough stock, Napalm, you could probably get a vote, and there you go. Then we could call it Matt database or whatever you wanted as the majority stockholder. That's loser thinking. Make it happen. Sometimes I do wish we could change our name because of the whole CouchDB issue. But at the same time, we've been Couchbase for so long. It amazes me how CouchDB has stuck in the minds of developers, even after all this time. CouchDB is still around. It's still a project. It's ApacheDB, but I mean, it's not nearly used as much as it used to, as far as I know. It's still used, but it's just not nearly as popular. If Elon can change Twitter to X, you can do it, Matt. People don't like typing, too. I think less keystrokes. Oh, it might be part of it, because it's hard to type out those extra 2 letters. Couch is more comfortable. Yeah. Well, that's kind of their thing, is if when you start up CouchDB, it says time to relax, right? So whenever people's trying to bring up those little puns, like in the company, like we should call this couch something, and we should be like, oh, we're the database you can relax with. I'm like, whoa, hold on. That's CouchDB. And actually, I think that might be one of the reasons why our stock ticker is base. And I don't know for sure. I have no knowledge of that. I'm a very low-level employee. I don't know all the decisions to make. But our ticker is base, B-A-S-E. So I always try to lean on whenever something in marketing comes up with a name for something, if they say Couch X, like, nope, let's put the base in there, Couch Base X. So there was can we call it Sofa, or BaseDB, or SofaDB? BaseDB I don't hate, but there might already be one called BaseDB. We're getting off on tangent for sure. Yeah, there is a BaseDB project. Looks like it's pretty obscure. What my Mongo? Huh? I don't know what this is. Some sort of wrapper library? I don't know. Implemented by MongoDB client. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is probably, okay, this is like a base class. Never mind, this isn't the name of something. Shay Long DB? Love Seat DB? To keep the furniture puns going, this is the JavaScript ODM for Couchbase called Ottoman. So there you go. You can get the furniture puns in. SofaDB, again, that wouldn't really fit our stock ticker very much. And if I hit SofaDB, it brings up CouchDB as a result. Interesting. No, BaseDB actually I don't hate, or some variation of that. But of course, the base in Couchbase is kind of the second half of database, right? So it'd be like database, almost. Call it DB. Like a pin, yeah, like pin number. Or what's the other one that people always say? hot water heater, something like that. But yeah, so pretty sure it's gonna be Couchbase for a while, unless something crazy happens. I don't know if a name change would help, because there's the kind of the balance. Like, we build up this name brand. If this, it gets confused with CouchDB all the time, fine. So that'd be one benefit, is switching to something that's not Couch in the name. But then, of course, the drawback there is now we got to start from scratch with a new brand name, sort of thing. So it would be called BaseDB, formerly known as Couchbase, for years, and people would still then see that and be like, "Oh, you guys are the CouchDB guys." No, we changed our name, then we changed it again. The original name of Couchbase, actually, the company, was Membase, not Memebase, Membase. So if you look here, Couchbase Server, you can see Couchbase Server was originally known as Membase, and Couchbase, the company, was originally called Membase Incorporated for a very short period of time. Actually, it might have been like a merger sort of thing, and kept the name Membase. I don't know. Membase was developed by some Memcache people. They founded a company called Northscale, and then they founded Membase Incorporated, and merged with Couch One. That's actually where the Couch name comes from, is from this company Couch One. So they combined Membase and Couch One and became Couchbase. But Couch One, of course, was a company that a lot of the CouchDB people had put together. So in the sense, Couchbase Server 1, which I don't know if there's actually ever a release of that, but Couchbase Server 1 was really a combination of Memcache and CouchDB with a different API, more like the Membase API, I guess. So that was the early reason for the naming, which I think made sense at the time, right? Because CouchDB had some name to it, and it's like, well, this is just going to be the successor to CouchDB. But then, of course, the CouchDB project kept going. It was part of Apache, and still out there. So there you go. Little history for you that I've recited 1,000 times, and still doesn't help. People still make the mistake. People, oh my gosh, I remember the story. One time, it was my less than a year I was at Couchbase, and they're like, our big event, Couchbase Connect, was coming up in San Francisco, I think, or San Jose, maybe, I don't know, something like that. I'm like, Matt, we need you to deliver a full day workshop that covers Java, .NET, and Node. And I'm just like, oh, sure, no problem. And I had some help from the SDK team, of course, to put the materials together. But for the most part, the session itself, I was delivering myself for 8 hours. 8-hour workshop. Yeah, less than a year. I don't think I'd ever delivered a workshop before, ever. And they're like, yeah, go ahead and do this. So I did it, put it together. It was actually not bad. But I tell the story because this is Couchbase Connect. This is Couchbase's big corporate conference event. And before I get to the workshop, I think the day before, someone comes up to me, one of the attendees, and says, hey, what version do I need to install for the workshop? And he's like, I've got version 1.5. Is that good enough? And at the time, the latest version of Couchbase was 4.5. And so I'm like, well, actually, you probably should install 4.5. And he's like, 4.5. And then it dawned on me, he's thinking about CouchDB. He installed CouchDB, and he's attending the Couchbase Connect corporate conference as an attendee. So even someone who purchased a ticket to go to our conference didn't know the difference. So, yeah, that was a moment where I was like, oh gosh, what are we in for here? So that was one instance where that happened. And of course, in my interview, I asked the exact question. I said, what's the difference between Couchbase and CouchDB? In my interview, I asked this question because I'd been using Couchbase to create some demo code and stuff. I was like, what's the difference? Because I never used CouchDB before. It's like, what's the difference? What's going on here? And they'll give each other the look, which I now understand because after having been in the company for 7+ years, they all gave each other that nervous look like, oh gosh. Oh, yep, allow. That's when he stabbed you and realized, oh, I need to give this guy a job, not avoid a lawsuit. No. No, they were great, actually. And, I mean, that was a question I should have known going into the interview. I may have even looked into it, but it wasn't quite clear to me at the time. I didn't know the history of the company and things. But no, they were actually looking for somebody with a Microsoft background, Microsoft reach. So, doing a lot of stalling here because I don't want to look at this TypeScript error anymore. It's all your fault, Surly Dev, for asking the question. And now I want to go join an Amish community. See, those are the two questions. The MongoDB and CouchDB are the top two. And then usually the other questions are some variation of that, like how is Couchbase different than Dynamo? How is Couchbase different than Cosmos? That sort of thing. TBD Gamer has a genuine question about Couchbase capabilities if you're up for selling me and use it. I mean, that's my job, TBD Gamer, so yeah. I'm not going to sell you. I'm not a salesman, but I will definitely answer your question about Couchbase capabilities. I'm happy to do that. So fire away. I can help me stall from this TypeScript error even more. Answer Couchbase questions all day long. Now, once I get into the second or third day, well, then it's going to be more of a Amish situation. But we're not there yet. So he's typing up a doozy of a question, I'm sure, right now. My goodness. Okay, here we go. I'm looking at creating a new system. I want to create tenanted data. My traditional go-to would be to create a SQL database per tenant. Or if the data isn't too big, stick a company ID and columns in my data. Okay. I'm with you so far. You want to use multi-tenant. Multi-tenant system is what you're creating. So think of, what's a good example of multi-tenant system? I don't know, like accounting system or something. Firstly, how would you do multi-tenancy? All right. So I have done the company ID approach on the columns in my data. I have done that, and that system's still in production, by the way. I'm not a fan of it, though, because all it takes is like one trip up in your queries, and now you've exposed data that you shouldn't expose to other tenants. That being said, I'm able to, in that production system, I think it's still in production, it's worked. However, I would not design it that way going forward. Now, I've also worked at a company where we designed it where it's a SQL database per tenant. And that was fine. We got an ad break starting here. However, in SQL Server, there is an option called schemas where you can organize your data into different schemas. And then you can, so it's one database, it contains multiple schemas. So it depends on how many tables you got, right? That might be overwhelming if you have 100 tables per tenant, but you could organize them into schemas. And in Couchbase, you can take a similar approach. In fact, let me bring up a little Couchbase here. Whoops, nope, not a Zoom call. Don't want to do that. Gonna erase the ad break here. All right, so sign into my Capella login here. You considered schemas, but I want to use EF Core. It becomes a nightmare. Oh, well, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Good to know. So if you want to use EF Core, you're probably not going to be using Couchbase, at least not anytime soon. If that's a requirement for you, there's no EF Core provider for Couchbase, at least not yet. But in Couchbase, there's a concept called a scope. So similar to schemas, right? So this is the travel sample bucket. Inside that bucket, there are multiple schemas, including a default schema. right? Which is kind of like DBO in SQL Server. But then you have all these other, this is a multi-tenant system right here. It's designed to be, this is like for travel. So you've got bookings and users for each one of these tenants. Right, so you can put a tenant in per scope. Now with Couchbase, kind of the database per tenant approach, you could do that with these Couchbase buckets. However, this is something, it's kind of a limitation. Not a hard limit, I don't think, but a limit, there might be a hard limit actually, on the number of buckets you can create per cluster. Because when you create a bucket, well, not here, but if I go to bucket settings maybe, so if we look at a bucket, for instance, this is where you set the memory quota per bucket. And there's also advanced settings like replication, durability, TTL, things like that. So at the database level, these buckets are relatively expensive in terms of resources. However, the scopes and collections, these are more organizational. So you can create, I think, 1,000 scopes and 1,000 collections per cluster. So unless you have more than 1,000 tenants, that's going to be plenty for you. That's probably the approach I would try this time around. Having done 2 other approaches for multi-tenancy in the past, I would try the either schema or scope situation for multi-tenancy. That's what I would do. Hope that answers your question. But yes, that's absolutely a feature. And that's kind of what scopes were designed for. Not only multi-tenancy, but also microservice architecture, where you have, you're not supposed to share data between services, microservices, but you might want to share a cluster between services. But you have data delineated in specific scopes that only a certain service has access to this scope, another service has access to this scope, and so on. Right? So that's another reason you might want to use scopes in your project. And yeah, you can specify users that have access to certain areas of the database. So hope that answers your question. Yes. How easy to specify the scope? Yeah, it's very similar to a schema. And actually, when you're working with Couchbase, I don't know if you remember this very much, but when you work with documents, you have to work at collection level. Well, with the key value API, you have to work at the collection level, right? So, for instance, this one here, does a document exist? I have to get a collection first. To get a collection, I have to have at least a bucket, but possibly a scope. So I can start by getting a cluster, and then from the cluster I can get a bucket, and then from that I can get a scope, and I can get a collection. You can actually skip the scopes by just saying, give me the default scope right from the bucket. But then from the collection is where my operations exist. So like exists is here, but there's also get and lookup and remove and all those sorts of things are there in collection. That being said, if you want to do a SQL query like I've done here, those actually run at the cluster level. Notice down here cluster.queryAsync, because SQL queries can go across the entire cluster. So you can join data from multiple buckets to each other if you want to do that. Now, of course, again, you can specify role-based access control, certain users, so they can't, query bucket scopes that they don't have access to, right? But if you want to, you can join all the way across the cluster with a SQL query. Okay, so that's hope that's helpful. So as far as what's the right way to do multi-tenancy, I'm not convinced either of the ways I've done it is the best, and I'm not convinced going by scope is the best either. But that's the one I haven't tried yet, is going by scope or schema in the case of SQL Server. So I'd be curious to see how that would work. I'm sure that there is trade-offs for every single approach. With Microsoft SQL Server, what is it called? SSIS? SQL Server Information? No. What's the tool? SQL Server Management, SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. I feel like if I use schemas, it would be very crowded in the UI. Like, it doesn't lay it out that way. It's like database, and then it gives you all the tables with their schema names. However, there might be other tools like Heidi SQL, for instance, that allow you to actually kind of roll things up by schema name. Kind of like what Couchbase UI does. It doesn't show a collection with a scope name prepended. It shows scope, and scope contains collections. And next level down the tree. You shall have more questions. I shall prototype. Please go right ahead. The challenge is isolation per logged in user. Yep, that's certainly the challenge. And by using the ID and all the different tables, that, to me, makes things very tense, because every single operation absolutely must, take that ID into account. And if you slip up just once, you're looking at potential leaking of data between tenants, which you do not want. And of course, the other issue, I guess, would be indexes as well, like noisy neighbor issues. And this is, I think, why my last employer, we did a database per user. Because most customers were relatively small amount of data. So we could have 20 customers on one SQL server, for instance. But there was one customer that was absolutely massive. So we gave them their own database. Now, you can still take the schema approach and do that, right? But you have to think about that as well. Like, what's going to affect? How's it going to affect indexes, right? If I have customer A who has 1,000 records and customer B who has 2, if they're all in the same table, the same collection, and just have a different ID, well, that's going to, potentially affect both people in performance. So, another question to think about. All right. We've stalled enough. Database per user gets tricky if you end up with different versions of SQL Server. EF doesn't like that. Yeah, I guess that's a concern as well. And of course, that can get expensive. Database per user. Well, so what I mean by is server per user, right? You can certainly have, in SQL Server, you can have those different catalogs, aka databases. So that's the approach. That's the approach we did. We did kind of a mixed approach at the last company. We had there were one server with multiple catalogs, and then one separate server. I might have been running in Azure, in fact. One separate server for the really, really big customer. Okay. So, profile. Let's make sure that my profile endpoint's working how I expect it to. So, users, profile, we'll try it out. It was this guy right here, right? No. This guy. It was this user name right here. Oh, look at that. Yep. It was my problem, all right. So, you know what's helped me diagnose this? Is all these diversions. Let's see. I'm going to try and implement a Couchbase prototype, see if I can get the general pattern working. Might have something to run by next week. TBD game, that'd be great. This is a personal thing that you want to go in production with. Definitely use Couchbase Community. If you're thinking about, something this is going to actually go into business with, you might want to look at Couchbase Capella, which is a cloud DBaaS. If you just want to try and mess around with it and not go into production yet, I would recommend highly you get Couchbase Enterprise. And that is the full-featured Couchbase. But Couchbase Community is going to have scopes, collections, even full-text search if you want to go that direction. All right. So, users, controllers, where's my Git profile at? Thank you for the advice, appreciate it. Here's the problem right here. I didn't wrap it in the stupid profile wrapper. Ah, boy. Yes, that fun API design. Although, I don't know if you were here for TBD Gamer, but there's actually one place where it kind of makes sense. If you go to multiple articles, this is something I missed. Articles, which has an array of articles. Articles count is also at the base level here. This makes sense to me because this is associated with this. But having them both at the root level makes sense. That's the only place that makes sense. And this is actually I missed. This what caused stuff to break is I forgot to put articles count in there because I just didn't realize it was there. So there we go. Let's see now if the UI will work. This smells like one time we did that, we might need it again. Yeah, maybe. All right, where's my front end? Da 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 da. Woo! Look at that. And there's a follow button and everything. Wow, it's amazing. Once I get the API right, how well it works. So I'm logged in as Matt2. I'm going to follow this user. What was the issue in Napalm Codes? Is yeah, you looked away. See, you gotta be glued to the screen to catch this stuff. All right, here's the issue. Get profile. This is the endpoint that this page is using because I'm looking at a profile of another user. Yeah, come on, Napalm Codes, get it together. Trying to stay employed and listen. Who cares about staying employed? All right, so this is what the endpoint should return. Root level object with a profile. Profile has the profile stuff in this object here. Okay? TBD Gamer with the subs and Napalm Codes. Thank you for that, TBD Gamer. I appreciate that. Now you have no excuse. No, I'm just kidding. But what I was returning was just this. I was not wrapping it in profile. So I was returning incorrect. I was not meeting the spec. Once I did that, returned this with this extra little profile wrapper for whatever reason, then it works. So now I'm following this user. If I go back to root, now that those users' articles are in my feed, so that's working great. Who else can we follow? Let's follow this guy. Okay, now I've got all kinds of users in my feed. So this is working great right now. Employment is overrated. Napalm Codes. Yeah, that's right. We're all going to go join an Amish community, right? Forget this employment stuff. Let's just raise barns and harvest corn or whatever. Build furniture. Who needs employment? Ride our horses around. Except when you need to pay bills and buy cool tech and, please the wife. Yep. Okay. So then I can also favorite these posts as well. And if I go to this, I can see the ones that I favorited. So this is, I think we're working great here. Amazing. So that's my profile. If I go to settings, this is still kind of janky to me, I think. I don't know if there's any way around that, but let's try this. We're going to change this. Okay. Okay. So there might be someplace else that I've screwed up as well. It looks like the same error. So let's go through and look at these. Here's the user response. It's the same issue. It's the same darn issue. How did I miss this? So that was the user endpoint. Update user endpoint. See, it's the same thing here. Wow. I did a terrible job of this. Terrible. Okay. Hoping for more logical API. Or maybe something at least more tolerant. All right. So this is user endpoints. Update user returns user. So that should be just user. Like that. Let's see. Where else did I not do this? User equals, user equals, user equals. Looks like I've done it all the other places. Profile equals. Okay. Okie dokie. Back to the UI. Go home. Settings. What? Huh? Now it's not even... Wait, what the heck? Home settings. Is it because it wasn't warmed up yet? Okay, whatever. All right, update settings. There we go. But there's still an error with this get. What's the problem? That API profile's null. Got an exception here. Document not found exception. Huh, okay, well, that's not good. Okay, settings. Update settings. Yep, same thing. So it's getting profiles null for some reason. Why is it sending a profiles null? Okay. It seems to be updating it correctly, but then it's like, oh, with username is not set here. That would explain it. Why isn't username appearing? Okay, let's go look at this again. Let's combine this here. Swagger. So this is get user, right? Current user. Get current user. It's this one. No, that's update. Here's the get current user. Does that include username? Yep, I'm betting it's not being set. What do you want to bet that it's not setting? Okay. User view. No, it's there. Oh, what the heck? Now it appears. What in tarnation? But it's still doing this error here. Okay, then I go back to settings. It's like it's caching it or something. Okay, what about the update user? Maybe that's not returning username. Da 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 da. Okay. That's the issue there. Update user request. Update user handler. Could be worse. I always hate the 200 with response object error. Something isn't working. You know what's even worse than that is the bug report. Something isn't working, or user isn't working. Something like that. A username is from. Okay. Yep. So this probably isn't setting it. Yeah. Yep. This should be doing this because username is the key. You don't get the key when you request a document because the key is metadata. So then I have to take an extra step to actually set that user. I think that will do the trick. Alrighty. Well, it's got to finish compiling, I guess. What? Now what? Did I break everything? code I'm looking at returns is success true message. Empty string. Amazing. Although, you know, as long as it's successful, I don't necessarily need a message. What is going on here? Okay, well, it's time to run some tests. See what I broke. Then, in that case, just give me a 201. Oh, I see. Oh, right. Yeah, I'm assuming that that code is returning a 200 or 201. Right? Is success true is kind of redundant. Yeah, probably. Well, so far these tests are working. To be fair, that comes from a PHP file that contains 12,000 lines. It's the least of my worries. So this is like old school PHP. All the tests are passing. It doesn't necessarily mean that my code is broken or not broken, because I haven't covered everything. Let's try recompile here and run it again. Okay, and we'll do a refresh here. Okay, maybe I wasn't actually running it. Maybe I just compiled and didn't run. Okay, so back in the ASP Classic days, which is kind of like old school PHP, I don't think we ever had a file 12,000 lines. We had some big files though. 25,000 line JS file, global JS, is by far the scariest thing I've come across yet. Oh my gosh, just thinking about the potential merge conflicts there is making me tense. That's not compiled, by the way. Handwritten JavaScript. Well, you know, handwritten, locally crafted, artisan, organic JavaScript. Okay, so I think I have to sign back in. Where's my credentials? Here we go. Matt2, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, there we go. Okay, and settings. All right, we'll change. Another ad break. Seems like a lot of ad breaks today. Hey, that seems to be working fine. Edit profile settings. Yeah, okay. So fix that. Great. I think might be time for a commit, because I've got a lot of stuff in this commit that's kind of staging here. Seems like a lot, but it's only 2 files. So there's the user wrap and another profile wrap and set user. So it's not that much, really. Seems like a lot. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm going to put this on 26, just kind of a junk drawer. 26, and this is some missing API JSON wraps. I'd go for a JSON wrap maybe for lunch. What should I have for lunch today, huh? Big ideas. And this is also junk drawer of 26, set user, a JSON wrap. Set username field on data retrieval. It's the key. No type, just a mix of colored goos. What? Is that what JSON wrap is? Colored goos in a tortilla? Okay. All right, next thing I want to look at is, where's my, not that. Here we go. Actually creating a post. All right, new article. Let's show a JSON schema for your JSON wrap. Surly Dev rules. He's a great moderator, and he deserves a cookie. And let's have ChatGPT write this. Why not? Write a blog post in Markdown about how great Surly Dev is. Perhaps you've gone too far. I'm thinking of a chain of restaurants now called Jason Wraps. Although, isn't there? There's already Jason. I say Jason. Jason's Deli. Have you ever heard of Jason's Deli? I pronounce it Jason, but yeah, Jason's Deli. You can probably get a Jason wrap at Jason's Deli. I don't see any wraps on here. Oh, here we go. There we go. Here's a Jason wrap. Yum yum. Jason's Deli is okay. The best thing about it, though, by far, is does it have it on here? Free ice cream. Amazing. Unlimited soft serve ice cream. Just the best part of Jason's Deli. So if you've never been, that's the best part. You got ice cream cones, you got bowls, put whatever you want in there. Just go to town. Now it says free on the menu. I think it's probably free with purchase, technically, right? So here we go. Here is Surly Dev's amazing blog post. Is this actually? Oh, what is actually linked to your GitHub? Look at that. It actually ChatGPT actually linked to your GitHub correctly. It's not a testament to a deli when the best thing about them is free ice cream. No, so I'm saying they're fine. It's fine. It's just not something that I would go out of my way unless I really wanted some ice cream. So we're going to tag him with Couchbase and NoSQL and publish this art. It's not Markdown here, though. I didn't copy it as Markdown, but that's fine. Article.tags. The tags field is required. Huh? What do you mean the tags field is required? What now? Is that what it's saying here? Article.tags. The tags field is required. What is it? Creates article validator. Tags field is required. What does this payload look like? Tag list. Yep. Oh, where's the code? Create article request. There's nothing here about tags field is required. It should be required. Create article handler. I don't think there's any place else. Okay. I'm going to step through this validator because I'm not seeing anything in here that even has that message. Are tags required? First of all, let's see, are tags required? Create article. Optional field is tag list. Okay. Create article. Wait a second here. Article controllers. Create article. It says tags. Optional. Why does it say tags? It should be tag list. Why on earth did I call this tags? Tag list. No, don't do any of that. But I'm not seeing anywhere that says that message. Like that almost looks like a generated message. Let's see. What's over here? Yeah. The tags field is required. Okay, there's no literal that says that. We're creating an article, and there's not even a rule for tag list, other than it must be one of the allowed tags. All right, let's try that. Let's see if that's enough. Did it go? Did it build? What's happening here? Okay, I guess it's going. All right, publish article. Did that work? It looks like it did. So this will be Surly Dev rules. Let's try another one. New article. TBD Gamer rules. TBD Gamer is also a great moderator. And let's write some ChatGPT about that. One about TBD Gamer 2. Elevating the game, the odyssey of TBD Gamer. Wow, so poetic. TBD Gamer isn't just a gamer, but a connoisseur of digital experiences. They don't just play the game, they interact with it, learn from it, and contribute to the gaming community. TBD Gamer is a gaming channel on, it's just youtube.com. Innovative projects by TBD Gamer at kotaku.com. Wow, TBD Gamer. You got quite a resume here. Okay, we're going to give you a cruising tag and publish. It's working now. So I don't know why I had tags instead of tagged list, but so now I've got 2 articles. Let's just do one more. May as well, because napalm codes. Napalm codes also rules. Napalm codes is really great. And we'll do another ChatGPT. Why not? If I can find it. Okay. One more for napalm codes. Let's see what ChatGPT says about you, napalm codes. Igniting innovation. The napalm codes saga. Napalm codes journey is about crafting code that's not just functional but eloquent. Yep, that's me. Fueling database dynamism with SQL++. Look at that. Put a little SQL++ in there. Harnessing the power of Couchbase. Let's see. Here's your GitHub repository. Does it actually exist? Nope, it doesn't actually exist. Open source projects featuring napalm codes, opensource.com. Okay. There we go. And you're going to get a baseball tag and a .NET tag. Okay. And there's the post. Although, where's the body? Shouldn't it show a body? That's going to be a problem, I think. Yeah, it's missing a body for sure. So we've got 3 posts in there. I can edit an article. That's cool. Delete an article. But not showing the body. Why is that? This endpoint is supposed to... Who needs content? Yeah, right. I mean, we've already got this headline. Who else reads beyond the headline? Okay. This is the... What endpoint is this? Well, comments is certainly one, but there's no comments yet. Oh, here it is. So it's got slug title, description, body. It's got all that stuff in there. Again, let's just compare. Make sure I've got the right. Where's my? Yeah, here we go. Get article. Oh crud. Where's my? Too many windows. Too many windows. Okay. Article. Let's just wait. That's create article. I want get article. Return to single article. Article, slug title, description, body, tag list, created at, updated at, favorited, favorites count, author, username, bio, image, following. Is it possible that updated at should never be null? Would that cause an issue? Error marked webpack imported module 1 is not a function. I don't know what the heck that means. But it's at article components. This will probably reveal if it's a null error or not. Article component HTML 44. Where's my components at? Article components HTML line 44. There's no line 44. What the heck? Oh, that's article comments. Article components 44. 14. So article body seems to be the issue here. There's no reason why that shouldn't work, unless it's something with this piping through markdown thing. Might be an issue. I'm going to get rid of that and see what happens. Okay, so that seems to be the issue. That I don't think is a problem with my code. But there it is. So let's just try adding a comment. That works. That's working. No more errors. So why is the markdown thing not working? Because it should be markdown, right? That's where it bombs out. And I'm guessing it's something to do with probably something with the markdown library that's being imported is the wrong version or something. Where does that kind of stuff happen in TypeScript? Is it like a package JSON or something? Nothing quite like starting a Friday and a production Kubernetes cluster just randomly restarting containers. Isn't that what Kubernetes is supposed to do? Just kind of restart containers for the fun of it? I thought that was the whole idea. Okay, article component markdown. What is this? Okay. Yeah. Markdown pipe. So something called markdown pipe. Markdown pipe. Yeah, isn't really cooperating. This one I have no idea how to deal with. This article, yeah. So this is the markdown stuff right here. Markdown pipe. I have to look this up probably. According to the internet, it's meant to be robust and stable. You're talking about this thing right here? Markdown pipe? I don't know what this is. Create custom markdown pipe to an Angular 16 to... Okay, I don't know. Markdown.pipe. What the heck is that a file? Markdown.pipe? This is an app article. Here we go, markdown.pipe. So we got pipe and pipe transform, whatever those are, and marked. So marked is the library being used here. I have no idea what to do about this. You can believe everything real on the internet? Everything? Well, I'm sorry. So the text field should have pipe marked. Yes, that's what it does right here. Oh, marked down, right? Because it is article, where's article component? Well, I don't see marked down anywhere. Maybe it should be marked. Article, components, TS. It's worth a shot. Error, no pipe found with name marked. Okay. It's a pipe built around the library. Yeah, I guess this is maybe some sort of convention. I guess so. Call it whatever pipe. Oh, and here's the name right here. Pipe. Got it. Okay. Not a convention. It's just here's the actual name. So the error then was, where was it? Back here. Marked Webpack imported module 1 is not a function. So marked is not a function. Yet here's marked right here. And there's marked, which I believe I saw in the package. Marked. Yeah, there it is. npm install. Well, I think it's worth a try. I thought I did that though, but we'll try it. It would be weird if that was the only thing that wasn't working. Errors. Oof. Look at all these errors. Could not resolve dependencies. Could not resolve dependencies. No. Okay, I don't know. Let's see if that worked. Oh. Hang on. It's still thinking. Okay. Okay. Nope. Didn't do anything. That's in testing libraries. Nobody needs to use them. Well, I mean, I'm not running the tests. I just want the UI to work. I don't really care. So should I go ahead and do this force thing, or what's this legacy peer deps? I don't know. When in doubt, force. Another ad break. My goodness, it seems really heavy today. It's doing all kinds of stuff now. 34 vulnerabilities found. That's good. I don't know what the normal number is for NPM packages. Is 34 high, or is that actually kind of low? Okay, try it again. Still nothing. Nothing doing. Okay, well, it was worth a shot. Didn't work. Maybe I could just Google this, see what happens. Marked. Here we go. Default is not a function. Caused by something. Should be fixed in 307. What version am I using here? 502. Okay, so this should have been fixed. Issue is still coming up in 4. Change the import call to import marked from marked. Well, that's different than what was here, right? Let's try that. Hey, there we go. So I think I might submit a pull request. So that was, for once, not a problem with my code, but a problem with the UI code. So, all right. So now I can see Surly Dev rules. It didn't exactly import any of the markdown styles, but we could add them. So I could go and edit this and do this sort of thing. There we go. So I can add some formatting, and I just tested the edit as well. Looks pretty great. Okay, time to go and test one more thing. New article. Delete this article. It's just here for deletion. Delete me. Delete me now. Baseball. Okay, and then I can go ahead and I'm going to make note of this key here, but delete article, it's gone forever. Let's just make sure that is the case. Where's my database at? I don't have one open. Okay, we're looking at scopes and collections, and then articles, and article key is going to be the second part of that slug. Not there. Okay. Fantastic. Look at me. I actually wrote some TypeScript today. Is there anything else I need to test? Or are we good now? If I can find the right window. Deleting a comment, right? None of these say how many comments there are. Because I don't think that's part of the comment here. So there's a little trash can icon. And I can go ahead and delete. There we go. That works fine. Okay. I think it's good to go. So now the question is, well, first, I guess I need to commit. Did I make any changes? Yeah, just, oh, gosh. Yeah, the tags became tag list, which it should have been in the first place. Another bonehead move by yours truly. Yep. Okay, and that's going to be 26. 26 corrected tags to tag list. Okay, let's push it on out. I didn't run the test, but hopefully they're good to go. All right, does anybody know how to deploy Angular websites along with ASP.NET websites to Azure, let's say? Anybody know how to do that? I feel like I could ask ChatGPT. But let's make sure this passes first. Everything else has been passing, so I think we're good. It's approaching 11 o'clock. It's 20 minutes till, and I've got an hour and 20 minutes, basically, to see if I can get this to production of what turned out to be just a few things I needed to correct, and then away we go. So, global feed, this is my feed. I wanted to see if I could follow myself. Looks like I can't, which is actually, that jives with my backend. Yeah, it's really nice. TBD Gamer, this whole system is pretty cool. And I'm guessing if I bring up that Blazor front end again, it'll work this time, because this was a lot of issues, not a lot, but some issues on the back end. And the best thing is I didn't have to build this UI. Someone else built this for me. Now, I will say the Conduit has a CSS layout already defined. So all the UIs should look the same. It's not about putting a different coat of paint on it. It should all look the same. It's just that they're implemented by different tools and frameworks like JavaScript, TypeScript, Angular, React, Blazor, whatever. So they should all look like this. In fact, if we go to demo.realworld.io, they're using, I think it's also Angular front end. No idea what the back end is, but it's the same exact user experience and same design and everything. Yeah. So if I click on this one, I can't follow because I'm not logged in, and so on. So there's all Anna Benisova's articles. 4 pages of them. Yeah. So pretty great. I just need to figure out how to get it onto Azure, I guess. So tests are passing. Has anyone done this before? How do I, let's get rid of this here. I don't want to deploy as a separate site. I want to deploy as one site. How do I deploy an Angular front end with an ASP.NET Core Web API backend to Azure? How do I do it? Okay, I can publish ASP.NET Core to a folder. Well, I don't want to do that. Create Azure App Service, yes. Deploy your application using FTP or direct visual. That's what I'll probably do instead. Your Angular application will be served by ASP.NET, so they will be deployed together. How do I deploy that together, though? How do I get my Angular site ready for this? Build your Angular application, ng build. So create a dist folder. Copy dist folder to the www root folder. Do I have a www root folder? I don't have one. Add folder www root. Okay. Create it. Okay. Configure ASP.NET Core. That's based on IIS running hosting, isn't it? www root? I don't think so. Where's your web server running from? My local web server is running not on IIS. It's just running, you know, .NET Run or whatever. What's it called? Kestrel? Is it still called Kestrel? It's running locally, but it's going to be on Azure, right? That's the idea. So what's this? SPA static files. What is that? Is that a real extension? Use endpoints. Yeah, according to ChatGPT, you're a legendary developer. That was right before use endpoints. Fall back to file. Okay, that makes sense. But I don't think this is really a. It did say that, Surly Dev. Geez, weren't you paying attention? Right here. You're a beacon of expertise and innovation. You're in a stand down meeting. You're an inspiration to peers. Did you not know this? You have exceptional skill set. I don't know what this use SPA static files is. I never heard of this before. Send me a link for that. It's just ChatGPT. I already deleted it, actually. Deleted the chat. But it's in my content management system. Right here, see? Oh, no, I shut it down. It's in there, though. But what's this use SPA static files? I don't think that exists. That seems like a hallucination to me. You're going to go back into VOD? Yeah, do it. You should definitely clip that. Oh, okay. There is something called use SPA static files. Okay. All right. Well, how do I add that? If you create a new Angular app, that will be there. That's a real method. Okay. Great. Cool. What's the library? What's the ASP.NET Core SPA services? Okay. Guess I need to add that. Let's see if it's in there. Spa services, 74.5 million downloads. All right. And we're going to go with... well, that makes me a little concerned. How old is this? 2020. 3.13. It makes me think that this is abandoned. I don't know. Here's where I do file new, ASP.NET Core with Angular, and see what it adds. Might be a good thing to try if this doesn't work. Okay. Didn't seem to add it. Spa static files. Okay. All right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the TBD Gamer approach. We'll get rid of this first. Okay. Comment this out for now. Alrighty. New Visual Studio, please. Create a new project. Oh, look at all these spinners. What's going on here? Okay, and Angular. The thing is, I don't necessarily want to change my backend to be coupled to Angular. But this might be okay, right? A standalone TypeScript Angular project? No. ASP Core with Angular? Yes. I think that's what I want. Delete me Angular. Can't spell it. Angular. .NET 6, 7, because that's what I'm using. Although I just got emails today from Microsoft saying, hey, you got to get off .NET 7 because you got until March 2024 until it's no longer supported. So I might sometime in the next few months change this to .NET 8. Should not be a big deal to do that, but need to get on that. Although .NET 8's not even released yet, is it? Yeah, I don't think it's even released, but it's coming up. Like the .NET, what's it called? .NET Conf, usually when they announce it, right? Or release it, I guess. Launch it. Okay, here's program. It just says use static files. And map fallback to file. So that makes sense to me. Use static files, yes. And map fallback, which is what this is doing right here, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Anything else in here? Use routing, use HTTPS redirection. Yeah, they must have simplified it, I guess. What's this whole idea with use routing? What? Do I need that? Don't know. Well, let's put it in here just in case. After the static files. And then if I don't need it or it doesn't work, then I'll come out and try that. Anything else in here? I don't necessarily want this controller routes. So everything's got its own route attribute. So, all right, and then www root. Where's the Angular stuff at? Client app. Okay, if I rebuild, does this deploy stuff to www root? It's got to go through npm, do a whole thing. Ad starting up in 1 minute 45 seconds. you can find the new Popper V2. Ugh. Okay. So where does that actually go? There's nothing there. It's just client app. Let's try executing it, see what happens. Spa proxy. What the heck? Okay, whatever. Just get on with it. What is it doing now? Spa proxy. Okay. It's a different port. What on earth? Okay. Welcome to your new single-page application. Angular, TypeScript, Bootstrap, client-side navigation. Click counter and then back to return here. Fine. Angular CLI. No need to run ng-serve. Okay. Efficient production builds. Development time features are disabled, and your done at publish configuration automatically invokes ng-build to produce minified ahead of time compiled JavaScript files. Okay. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. So how do I do that? Go into production or release, I guess. See what it builds. Welcome to the ad break, everybody. It ends in less than a minute. Okay, so now it's built something for me. Okay, spa proxy. I guess. What's this spa proxy stuff? Angular JSON. Oh, it's like a proj file setting. And then there's something in the launch. Okay, I think the ad break's over. Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure where to go with this now. Okay, I'm going to close that up. What if I just do an ng build? Like ChatGTP was saying. ng build. What does that do? ng build. Because hypothetically, I should be able to open this in a browser without having to do ng-serve, right? Proj Angular. Okay. So where would that be? Dist folder, right? If I open this, well, it's not going to find my back end because it's not running. Where's my stuff at? Here we go. Bill Sadis. Sorry I had to step away and try to walk my 2 puppies who refused to go because it's pouring rain. Can you blame them? Okay, so this doesn't seem to be working. It's because of cores. Of course. Of course. Okay. But let me just ask this. Is this what I put in www root? And then I'm good to go. Except for, I need to make a change, right? Although, wait. So it would need to point as a different back end, right? Let's open up this right here. So the configuration, was it environments? Environments? There's the environment for prod, which I probably want to be something like, I don't know, conduit.azurewebsites.net, something like that. Is that what's going into here? And where does that get wrapped up into? Settings? There's another reason I don't like this kind of stuff. So it was like, what was it? API Real World? Real World. Okay. Okay. Doesn't seem to be going with, it just stuck in environment TS. It's not being added as part of dist. So I'm just trying to figure out where do I change that once I go to production. Yes, all this stuff. Okay. I go to main.js. See, I can't read this stuff. I can't read this. So I'm confused. So I'm tempted to put this all into www root and then throw it out to Azure and see what happens. So if I take what's here in dist, I'd probably automate this, but just experimenting right now. And throw this into www root. As Dr. Pepper says, what's the worst that could happen? Does Dr. Pepper say that? Is that the beverage, or is that your family doctor? And if he's saying that, you might want to consider a different family doctor. All right. So I throw it out there, run my websites. And I expect this to be in the same port and everything. It was the marketing slogan for Dr. Pepper over here. Really? What's the worst that could happen? Okay. So this backend should work. It does. But if I go to index.html, kind of works, except it's not. Hey, Taylor and Code, what's going on? You like Dr. Pepper, but what a crappy slogan. I don't know. It is kind of a weird slogan. It's like, yeah, you got nothing to lose. Drink this swill. All right. Get articles contains authorization metadata, but a middleware was not found that supports authorization. Configure application startup by adding app use authorization. If there are calls to use routing and use endpoints, must go between them. So maybe I got stuff in the wrong order. Trying to find a new job and getting ready for next week's cruise. Oh yeah, next week. Cruise time, Taylor and Code. I'm sure you probably have some mixed feelings about it, but cruise can really help, I think. Looking forward to my cruise coming up and after Christmas. We just were able to sign up for excursions yesterday. I think it was the first official day for our cruise. And I scheduled, as much as I don't want to do this, one of those, everything's paid for, so you're still going. That's good. We're scheduled for one of those dolphin encounters where you go in the little tide pool or whatever with the dolphins. And you get to frolic around with them, I guess. What is this YouTube video? Is this Dr. Pepper? Wait, is that, what's his face? Who played Lex Luthor and Mark Zuckerberg and Zombieland guy? What's the guy's name? I think that's him. Wait, 911? That's definitely a United States commercial, right? This isn't over there. This is because it's 999 over there, right? Oh, it's too much nudity for for a commercial. Okay, that is a lousy commercial. Because it's like, get Dr. Pepper and then you'll be humiliated. after a after a potentially crippling accident. Wow. I don't remember those commercials at all. That had to be a long time ago. If that actor was in Dr. Pepper commercials, that had to be before, before Zombieland, before the Social Network and stuff. Okay, let's look at this error message again. All right, I'm put it on this side of the screen or this side of my desk so I can read this. Okay, so if there are calls to app use routing and use endpoints, does not use endpoints. The call to app authorization must go between them. Okay. The routing was something I added, right? So maybe I don't want that. Okay, I'll bring it back over here. I think it's working now. So the app routing is definitely something I didn't need. And if I wanted to go to the Swagger, it's still there. Cool. Certainly have rules. Yep, okay. So that's working. I'm streaming until noon, so that's less than an hour from now. And this will probably be my last one for a while, actually. Because this is pretty much me finishing this stuff up. So, yeah, I mean, this is probably the last one. This other stuff I got to do. I might try some streaming on LinkedIn next, just to see how that goes. A new project, yeah, it'll probably be similar probably Conduit related. But yeah, time for a new project. More generative AI stuff. I haven't quite like fixed anything yet. I don't think that's my last Twitch stream. Last Twitch stream for a while. I'm taking a Twitch break. But yeah, I might try some other streaming places like LinkedIn. I've seen some of my colleagues stream on LinkedIn and or YouTube and get pretty good audiences there. So you don't you can come watch them on LinkedIn and or YouTube, Napalm Code. I appreciate that though, that you're going to miss my face. It's nice to be appreciated. Yes, you can stream on LinkedIn, absolutely. And like I said, pretty good audiences there. Not that you guys aren't a great audience, but if you notice this number down here, right here, right there, that's not a number that I can really take to my boss and say, "Oh, look how effective I am," with 6 people viewing. So you're just riffraff. So I'm going to see if I can try some other venues, and the only issue is that I'm not like on LinkedIn, on YouTube. I'm not Team Live Coders there, right? That's a Twitch only thing. So yeah, that's true. He just bought you a sub. Oh gosh, I forgot about that. Maybe I can maybe do a little half and half, like one time on Twitch and then one time on LinkedIn, YouTube, something like that, back and forth. Getting a lot of boos here, getting a lot of negative feedback. So maybe I shouldn't go this direction. This is just kind of my thoughts, right? No matter what, I'm probably going to take a little Twitch break, maybe for like a week or so. As much as I love doing this, it's not my main job. Is to Twitch stream. As much as I would love for it to be. But I think it's trying to... Streaming is hard. You can try multi-streaming. So I could tailor and code. The problem is that at whatever level I'm at now, affiliate or something, not allowed to do that. Yeah, TBD Gamer. I could get booted off of Twitch for that. So I could try multi-streaming on LinkedIn and YouTube, for instance. That might work, but I can't bring in Twitch because I have the affiliate status or whatever it is. Not partner. I think it's affiliate status. If you don't have affiliate, then I think Twitch allows you to do it. That's my understanding of it anyway. I can renounce my affiliateness. If I do that, then I have to drop out of Team Live Coders, I believe. I think I have to be an affiliate to be on Team Live Coders. Renounce the blasphemy. So this is just Twitch saying, hey, we want your content, not everybody else. So, sorry, them's the breaks. All right, if I go ahead and YouTube, no, that's not the address, I don't think. Oh yeah, it is. Oh, I didn't realize I had such a nice address. There we go. Yeah, and all my Conduit stuff gets published out here. So, thank you for posting that there, Surly Dev, and I wouldn't mind if you pinned that message as well. Boo this man. All right, so let's go ahead and let's think about this. So that's the dist. So I think we could do, this isn't probably what you're supposed to do, right? But we're just experimenting here. We'll do a publish. So I've got 2 issues here. Actually, let me think about this. 1 issue, not a problem. It's the settings. It's the secrets. So I have to go set up environment variables on Azure for that. Not a problem. Follow Matt the Trader on YouTube when he ditches us cool kids on Twitch for a while. Gosh, such backlash. Well, with this kind of vocal backlash, maybe I can convince my boss that, hey, maybe Twitch is the way to go. Forget that LinkedIn, YouTube baloney. If this number right here went up higher, that would help a lot. Okay, the second issue might not be an issue, actually. How do you find streams on LinkedIn? People that you follow and on LinkedIn you networked with, they post, and there they go. And I think LinkedIn will make that, like, discover the content, that sort of thing. I see them all the time on LinkedIn. If I watch your stream on LinkedIn, I'll have to create a Surly Dev account or troll using my real name. And you don't want that. Oh, I do want that. I do want that Surly Dev. So I don't know. I'm concerned about this front end not being able to find the back end when I deploy this, but let's go for it. Again, Dr. Pepper. What's the worst that could happen? We're gonna publish. Not one of these. No. New profile. Microsoft actually multi-streams, but I doubt they accepted affiliate status. And I'm guessing Twitch probably has a different opinion of Microsoft on Twitch than they do a lowly peon like me. So yeah, they probably didn't accept affiliate either, I'm gonna guess. All right, Azure it is. Okay, and we're doing a app service Linux. Why not? And there. Okay, what do we got out there? Baseball Ipsum and my Twitch bot. We're going to create a new one. I don't know. Can we do Conduit? Is that one already taken? Okay, stalked you on LinkedIn. I appreciate that. Resource group name, Conduit Resource Group. Hosting plan. We're going to do a new hosting plan. Conduit hosting plan. And East US, I think that's correct. One core is probably more than enough for a simple ASP.NET site. And away we go. Surly Dev with the short. What is this? Supply. Ah, he found one of my videos. That's one of my favorites. That's my daughter. We just moved into an apartment. This was before we bought this house. Like between houses, we stayed in apartments. And yeah, I mean, she was like 3 maybe, and so she still kind of talked like that. And I thought that would be hilarious to reenact that joke from UHF. If you've not seen UHF, that's exactly what was going on there. Sure, taking a while here, Azure. It's got to create a bunch of new stuff, resource group and hosting plan. So this only happened the first time. Okay, Conduit, API management. Skip this step. I'm not sure what I need that for. Publish, CI/CD, GitHub Actions. Oh, that might be interesting, but let's just go with publish for now. Okay. And we're ready to publish. I get conduit.azure websites. That's pretty great. No one snapped that up yet. As far as Azure websites names goes, that's pretty good. You're publishing the application without bundling the runtime. Checking the runtime compatibility. I don't see why that'd be a problem. Of course, come March, who knows? So you stalked me on LinkedIn. Let me just see if that showed up in my request. Nothing yet. No email from LinkedIn. Okay. Well, here we go. Moment of truth, I suppose. The other thing is, oh gosh, I need to set up, what do you call it, VNet peering to connect to Capella. I could probably do there's a workaround I could do just to make sure this works. Okay, seems to have succeeded. Let's see, Conduit. AzureWebsites.net. What's going to appear, if anything? Nope. That's the Visual Studio loading it for me. Let's try this again. Conduit.AzureWebsites.net. Fingers crossed, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Sure, taking its time. Not a good sign. That's probably a timeout issue. I'm going to guess because it's trying to connect to localhost, my database server on localhost. But you'd think that the UI would come up before then. Actually, it might have checked localhost, probably to connect to empty string or something. All right, not C# advent. Where is Conduit? Resource group. And there's the... So I need to go in and set some settings like this right here. JWT might be an issue as well. Oh, well, there we go. So that's a good sign that it's actually, I deployed the Angular site correctly. Now I got to make some changes. I got to do this off screen, some configuration settings. Application settings, I guess. So we'll do, we'll start with JWT secrets and then issuer. And I don't remember what I set for these. It doesn't really matter. Let me just look at my secrets real quick. And then I'll paste these somewhere handy I can look at. Okay, bring this back over here. Alrighty. JWT secrets issuer. Okay. Next one. JWT secrets audience. And the value for that would be like this. Next one, JWT secrets security key. This one I need to generate somehow. Okay, I'll take that and I'll do that. Okay, that works. All right, next is Couchbase stuff. Couchbase connection string. So I need to get this from Capella. Conduit is in there, but there's actually, I need to run migrations as well. So I don't want to show this necessarily either, but here's the connection string, right? I'm going to, you need to have credentials still. This connection string isn't enough in itself, but I just want to show that's what I'm going to use in there. But beyond that, I'm going to take the stuff off the screen, which makes for riveting streaming, I'm sure. Okay, there's that. Next one is username, which I haven't created one for that either, because I'm just using administrator locally, so I need to create one. Specifically, how I do this is I will create settings and then database access, create some access, and I'm going to call this like conduit, SVC conduit. All right, so that's what I'm going to use for the username over there. And then I'll have to go to password and stuff, so I got to take that off the screen. Certain special characters it doesn't like. So just, okay. Just do this and like that. And it's going to get, okay, so now I can show you this again. It's going to get conduit. And give it all scopes. So it has access to Conduit. This is some of that role-based authentication I was talking about earlier when we were discussing multi-tenancy. So Couchbase __ password. Okay, and then a bucket name, Couchbase __ bucket name is just going to be Conduit. And Couchbase __ scope name. I'm going to keep that as _default. And scan consistency is not going to be request plus. It's going to be is it not bounded or non-bounded? No, that's not what I want. I can just do it here. So query scan consistency dot not bounded. Okay, is that all I need for my template here? I believe so. Alrighty. So then I have to do some stuff here with Capella in terms of networking. Alrighty. And then I have to run migrations. So again, more riveting off the screen stuff going on. I know so little about cloud stuff and would love to learn more, but to stream it is intimidating because you can reveal too much very easily. You're right about that. You're right about that. Surely Dev's seen some plugins that will hide sensitive data, but on the whole, I think websites need to be more cautious and give warnings when sensitive information is about to be shown. I mean, that would be cool, but it is challenging because how are you going to determine what's sensitive and what's not just based on a video stream? But that definitely is an issue with cloud development in general, and streaming is oftentimes you're working with sensitive stuff on the screen. So like I'm still kind of nervous to do this, but here's the settings in Azure. And so I can hide all the sensitive values here. Not all these are sensitive, right? Like scope name is _default, who cares? But some of these are passwords, connection strings, security keys, stuff like that is super important. The library is in Azure DevOps, for instance, but you can mark things as sensitive. Yeah, like this. Yeah, that's true. That is nice, but that's hard to do when you're working with like a text file, you know, on the screen. But okay, so that's that. Next thing to do is what was I saying? I need to work on some, what do they call them? What do I call them? Migration. So I got this migrate up. I'm going to create a copy of that. I'm going to call this migrate Azure, migrate up Azure. And that's going to have sensitive information in it. So I definitely don't want to commit that into production. Okay. Connection string. Yep. Okay, SVC conduit is the user. Password is something I put. Oh, shoot. Did I not write down the password? Okay, I got to copy it from this. Okay, there we go. Put that back up there. Password, conduit. All right. So now let's try running it. CD real world. SPNet migrate up. Wait, where is it? It's in conduit folder. Conduit folder, migrate up Azure. Let's see what happens. Error connecting. Why can't you connect? Why you no connect? Make sure I have the right stuff in here. Oh, that's an old connection string. Gosh. Okay, that's probably why, because it's trying to connect something that doesn't exist. Try it again. Looks like it's succeeding. So then here's the Capella, and stuff should be showing up there soon, like scopes and collections and whatnot. Oh, still error connecting. Just took longer though. All right, so that's hopefully a good sign. Can you set those values in the config files to be environment variables that link up to these applications? That's exactly what I'm doing. I think Azure does that by default. No, not this. Where was it? Yeah. So these all get passed in as environment variables, and then my app. I don't know if this is something I did a long time ago. It will bring in environment variables to use those as configuration. So in the absence of user secrets and app settings files, which are not there, actually, they might be, but then environment variables overwrite those. So that's I've done this before. That should be working. But I'm guessing it's a connection issue with Capella. What is going wrong with that? Database access. Yep. Yep. SVC conduit, right? Okay, sir, time for my stand-up. Don't think I'll be back for your final stream. It's not my final stream. It's just taking a little break, and then I'll be streaming again. I've not made a decision, but I thought was, let's try some other venues, see how they go. I prefer Twitch, of course, but trying to reach as big an audience as I can, so gotta try some new venues. But I know you're just messing with the TBD Gamer, but I just wanted to reiterate for anyone lurking. Okay, well, have a good one. Have a great weekend, TBD Gamer. Thanks for stopping by. I got 30 minutes to figure this networking issue out, which is the most boring thing to watch on the stream, I'm sure. Wait, I thought I did this. Maybe I didn't do that. Oh. Okay. Let's try it again. And then what I should hope to happen. There's a problem running migrations. Attempted to access a missing method. Well, that's weird. It did at least connect. It got some stuff working. But what's this missing method? What in the world? You've motivated yourself to get on your bike for a little while for some much needed mental health and me time. Exercise. So I wish you well for your alternative of dark web streams. I'll try to drop in, but I'm pretty set in my way, so don't hold your breath. Well, that incentivizes me to figure out a way to stay on Twitch somehow. So, and you're going to join a gym? Napalm codes? Okay. I hope that helps. And good luck with your upcoming career change thing, whatever that may be. I should come back to Twitch, if for nothing else, to hear how that's going. You don't get enough motion at your desk. Exercise correlates to endorphins. I've actually restarted, I guess, my my workout as well this week. So, your gym are still mistakenly charging me the introductory price per month. So, you're reluctant to pause it even if you don't use it. It's there for the winter. Yeah, hacking the system, Surly Dev. We got an ad starting in 1:20. Okay, so let's look at, let's try this locally. I'm going to see if this migration still works locally. Maybe there's a bug. And it could be something else, in fact. Something with my NoSQL migrator. Bloody developers. Some software developer missed an edge case. Yep. Or maybe this is just, you know, they're like, well, this guy's not coming in. We're still charging him, so let's not say anything. Didn't have a proper spec. Monopoly bank error in your favor. There you go. Programmer error in your favor. What's the difference? Okay, so I've got migrate up. I want locally. If this errors here locally, then that's fine. Yep, same issue. Okay. That's a bummer. All right, so NoSQL migrate. NoSQL migrator.exe. Oh, you know what? I think I had a new release, and I'd never replaced it locally. So I did my own release, and I'm not using my own my own release. That's typical. Okay. So let's download this, and I think I put it into, if I'm not mistaken, I put it here. Yeah. So I'm trying to run migrator with an old release, a command line executable of an old release. I should put a -v in that. Okay. There we go. All right. So now I assume that the Azure one will work as well. So many Conduit windows. Everything's Conduit now. I got Conduit Azure, Conduit Local. All right. So quick refresh here, and we'll see that we've got, look at that, all kinds of Conduit stuff there. And I can connect. So that's a good sign. Where's my front end? Is it working? Error blocked by client. Whoops. So this is kind of the thing that I feared would be happening. 7270, yeah. So it's 7272, but that's obviously not what it should be. It should be conduit.azurewebsites.net. So where the heck is that set at? Here in the dist, the root. Where? Localhost 7272. Main.js, obviously. What's this? I don't know if I want to mess with that, but okay, let's go back to, let's do this. Back to my Angular here. Environment. Where was it? Source environments. Yeah, so for some reason this didn't get used. Is there like an ng build for prod? Let's see, Angular. Wait, isn't it Angular? No. Let's see, Angular. Okay, ng build is what I did, right? Is there like a production flag? Ng build production flag? According to Stack Overflow, ng build -prod. Okay. Let's do that. Unknown argument prod. Okay. Apparently that's not it. This is from 2017, so it's pretty old. ng build. Look at the documentation, I guess. Production. Generate service worker config for production builds. I don't know what that means. What version of this, of Angular, is this? Maybe that's an issue I can look at here. Angular. I guess this is Angular. Oh, it says service worker. Angular 16. Okay, well, then maybe I'll try the service worker business. I don't know. Service worker, right? Yeah, I don't know. And then I'll look at the main.js to see if that picked it up. I prefer this to be an environment setting, actually. That would be nice. Okay, and we're here in the dist, main.js. Looking for Azure. Nope. Okay. Well, who's to say I can't just change it myself? My concern is it's in this map file too. You know what I mean? I don't know what this map file does. So we'll change it here. Why not? And we'll change it here too. Map file, something that's generated, I guess. Conduit Azure websites. Okay, no idea if that's the right thing to do, but again, let's get it working, then we can figure that rough edges, smooth the rough edges out later. Right-click publish, good old right-click publish. And everything there looks good. Publish. Might finish this up just in time. I think my boss will be pretty happy if I send him a link today. It's like, here's the website. It's working now. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm going to give it a second to kind of warm up before I jump to any conclusions here. Okay, it's still saying 7272. Is it something cached, maybe? Taking much longer. I bet there was a cache. Browser cache issue. Still says running in development mode. Okay. So that's get the correct URL, but now I've got an error. What would that error be? Well, it looks like I might not get to finished product on the stream today. It's got to be a connection issue of some sort, right? make sure I have all the correct things set on Azure. Make sure that one's right. Okay, and there's this guy, and connect. Okay, yep, that's the right thing there. Pretty sure it's the right password, username, JWT stuff. Just gonna, on a hunch here, change this. And save, which needs to restart the website. So I'll do another hard refresh. Okay, doesn't seem to be the issue. I was just changing the scan consistency. See if that did anything. Oh, crud. Thought maybe it was parsed incorrectly or something. I can never remember this. Is it not or not bounded? Not. Okay. Just want to get this working, and then I can explore the VNet peering later, which I think is important. Wait, did it work? Oh, I think it's working. No error message this time. I'm not sure what I did differently. Okay, let's try it. Sign up. So I'll use my same credentials from before. Why not? Matt2 and Matt2. Sign up. Okay. And then here I am as Matt2. I can go and update my profile. I built this. Update settings. Working good. Hello world. Check it out. Conduit with ASP.NET and Couchbase. And we'll get ChatGPT to write that for us. Close all this stuff out. Where is my ChatGPT? So many browser windows open. Okay. Write a blog post introducing an ASP.NET, well, can't even type, an ASP.NET Core implementation of Conduit using Couchbase Capella as the database. I'm going to finish like just in time, I think. This is going to be great. Oh, it's got, oh gosh, it's even got some code there. Okay, it's not quite what I wanted, but alright, let's just do this. And we'll give it a little markdown. And Couchbase.net. Publish article. There we go. Global feed. Well, that's it. That went surprisingly smoothly. So the Conduit project is all done and in production. I'm not going to leave it up and running like this, of course, but the next step is getting this submitted to the Conduit index so that other people can find it. So just a last few words here. As I mentioned, I'll probably take a little bit of a break from Twitch, maybe at least a week, just from streaming in general. And then when I come back, I could be here. I might also experiment with LinkedIn and YouTube at the same time, not as a multi-stream. Not allowed to do that as an affiliate. But I'm going to try to reach out, see if I can find those other audiences. So I want to say a special thank you to the regulars, Napalm Codes and TBD Gamer, Surly Dev, of course, everyone else who's stopped by from time to time, Tail Learn Code, and everyone who's followed and subscribed. Thank you, C Sharp Fritz, for the great raid 10 days ago. Appreciate that. Mini Wheats and Coral also subscribing. Guy from Mars. Who else? Brant and Calvin. All kinds of great people who have stopped by and just to ask a question or to hang out a little while. I appreciate that. And I hope to continue streaming. It'll probably be a different project, though. It may involve Conduit in a sense, but it's going to be a whole different sort of initiative, I think. It'll be always, as always, it'll be Couchbase focused, of course, and .NET focused, perhaps. C Sharp. That's my wheelhouse, C Sharp, .NET, and Couchbase. So that's probably what I will be doing. And of course, I really enjoyed learning about generative AI, ChatGPT, and GitHub Copilot. They've been tremendously helpful. Even today, they've been tremendously helpful getting the UI up and running in Azure. And I'll just post a link here if you want to check it out. There's no guarantee this will be up and running by the time you watch this stream. Go ahead and give that a quick pin. And I will also feature that one. Why not? If it shows up. It's at conduit.azurewebsites.net. Somehow I got that. I don't know why it's not showing up. Oh, there he is. It's a single word, apparently. There we go. Conduit.azurewebsites.net. Go check it out. That's what I've been building these last months here live on Twitch in front of you. I've done the bulk of the work in front of you on the stream here. So I appreciate you all hanging out with me, and great discussions, great diversions, and great help as well. So with that in mind, I'm going to find someone to raid here, and then I will just shut it down for the weekend, and that'll be it. So who can we raid? Yeah, thanks, Taylor and Code. It's not vacation. I'll still be working, but it was time off from streaming. Let's go ahead and check out Krasenstein. I rated him last week, and I think we'll do it here again. So great stuff there. I hope you'll join me over there. Krasenstein, a fellow team member. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you all have a great weekend.